Alright, hello Clara.
Hello Sabian.
Welcome to not my studio, but a studio to record a podcast.
Indeed, indeed. We're stoked to be in this awesome space, Chinatown. First time here, but it's been legendary hearing about it.
Yeah.
We got a little featured guest.
Mr. Chan, the homie.
Don't make eye contact with him too intensely or else you might feel nervous.
Alright, so.
I think to start, we should give some gifts.
Oh, okay. I didn't bring anything.
It's okay, sweetie. Sabian knows that my love language for giving is giving.
Yeah.
Gifts. And I have here some little Hello Kitty necklaces. So
Hell yeah.
we're gonna exchange this.
Okay, this is a really good gift.
Yeah.
I am stoked about this one.
Oh yeah. Alright. Well, actually, this is gonna take a little bit of undoing here, but anyways. So I guess we can also chat about what we did this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a very rainy, gray afternoon in Vancouver.
Yes, super rainy. This is like the rainiest day I've seen this year, I feel like.
Yes, I agree.
But
We've been lucky. There's been a lot of sun. And it's just so interesting to talk about the weather on a podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
But we were stoked to go see a movie in International Village.
Yeah, it just kind of happened. We had some time to kill.
Yeah.
So we went, and the movie that was playing right when we got there was Saltburn. And I had no idea what it was. Did you know what it was?
I had briefly seen a little bit about it, yeah. I made them see it because I really wanted to because I knew it'd be hella aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
And have young people partying.
It did look really good. It was shot super well. I like the aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
It was 4x3, set in 2000s, so it had like a bit of that 2000s aesthetic, I feel like, with like the fashion and just the way it was filmed, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it started off in Oxford, and I was very intrigued to see the brilliance and yet debauchery of these scholars.
It was very debaucherous.
It got much, much worse.
It got really,
I don't know
really
if you
bad.
want to give spoilers.
Well, yeah, no spoilers. I feel like it's hard to spoil because well, maybe I shouldn't even say that. There is a twist at some point, but it doesn't happen for a while.
Let's just say the main character indeed was very fucking salty.
Yeah. Yes.
But actually, the highlight of this movie excursion was not the movie itself. It was a little chat with Sabian during the commercials. And Sabian asked if I had seen Oppenheimer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. Okay.
And he was like, yeah, you know, the one with Mads Mikkelsen.
You know, I just got his name wrong. I was thinking the right guy, but I forgot his name, and I called him Mads
Something
Mikkelsen.
Murphy. I actually forgot.
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the
But I
actual
was
guy.
like, sweetie, I am a Mads fan. I know it wasn't.
Well...
And then, like, Sabian and I have this thing where I always, like, DM him way too many, like, cat videos on Instagram. Guess what content you get next?
Mads Mikkelsen.
That's right.
Yeah.
I already got a folder. I'll just share the whole folder with you.
Is it just, like, pictures of him looking cute, or what?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm down.
Yeah. Wait, you guys don't have Mads folders?
No.
What? Okay. What other folders do you have?
Folders?
Yeah.
I don't have any folders.
Really?
I'm not like a save shit to my phone kind of dude.
That's fair, but like when I have a folder and I want to share something with a friend, it's just so easy to find it.
I guess.
I have a cats folder,
Nice.
and then I have an other animals folder. And then at one of our recent parties, I was talking with our friend who also loves cats, and he was like, I also have a cats folder and other animals folder, like literally the same name. I was like,
Wait, there's just like cats and then other animals. It's
like another animals folder, yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Keys are on the table.
thank you.
I'll be back
See ya.
later.
Peace.
Okay, peace.
Anyways, speaking of the kitties,
Yes.
I think I have to give you this.
Oh, yes. Hello Kitty.
Hello
oh,
Kitty
my God.
necklace.
Beautiful.
This is a friendship moment. I love matching with my friends.
Okay, I see.
I wonder if there's other ways that we could match. Yeah, you tell me, Sabian. Tell me how you want us to match.
We could get bracelets.
Bracelets are good.
Yeah. We could get
bracelets.
matching tattoos.
Oh, shit.
Would you do that?
Okay, what would you want to get?
I don't know. A bunny? You wanted a bunny, right? I would get a bunny.
We could do My Melody.
Oh, I would totally do that.
I just learned about Sanrio today.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So crazy and embarrassing. Like, I feel like this has actually changed my life.
How is it?
Because I love My Melody. She's so cute. And I got these stickers from directly above us.
Okay.
Is Blim. Their store.
Let me zoom in.
Oh, yeah, okay. Ready?
Oh, that looks so good.
So cute.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Honestly, like, if you have cute stickers on your phone or your laptop or, like, in your room, anything, and then you see it and you just, like, instant mood boost, so worth it.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I have this sticker on my phone.
Okay, I got a perfect idea then. My Melody. Boom, front of the hand.
Okay.
Never forget.
As matching tattoos?
Yeah.
I'll do it. Don't think I won't do that.
No, I actually, like, unironically have a desire to get hand tats.
Okay.
I actually think they're cool.
They are cool. I agree. I think it's super cool when people get, like, the knuckles. Have you seen that?
I think I have seen that, yeah.
It looks super painful, though. I don't think I would do that, but I think it looks good when people do it.
I think it looks good. Have you seen Rihanna's?
No.
It's like henna tats.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Word.
But I have a tat friend who does kind of like scribbly design tats. It's super cool. But then he was tattooing this 18-year-old guy who wanted it right on his hand, first tat.
Wow.
He's like, "Are you sure?" And he was like, "Yes." He's like, "I'm getting paid." Like, yeah, so that's cool.
I guess, yeah.
But this is so cliche embarrassing, but I want my first tat to be in between my shoulder blades in the back. But I don't know what I want.
Oh, you just know where you want it? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
This is so embarrassing. If y'all want to make fun of me for this, green light. In high school, I wanted to get the lotus flower. I know.
It's just basic. I feel like it's not even like worth making fun
and like
of
as
you
a
for.
white bitch, like, okay. You think you're spiritual?
Well, you didn't get it, so
I didn't get it.
It's fine.
I was recently thinking maybe like a betta fish
That's cool.
with like flowy tail down the spine, but spine would freaking hurt.
True.
You should tell them about your new tat.
Oh yeah, I did get a tattoo. I guess I haven't told the people, but yes.
People, observe.
Yes, Samurai Champloo soundtrack. That's the tattoo. I love it.
I've listened to the Ndrabi soundtrack, but I haven't seen the show. But I think I gotta.
It's a really
good.
cool show. Like,
It's very on brand for you.
yeah, exactly. That's the thing. That's
Also,
why I got the tattoo. Of it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Big surprise, sweetie. Big surprise. No, but also, you know, like on the album cover, it is mostly blue.
Well,
Or at least on YouTube, I don't know.
yeah. There's that one, but I think this one's actually green.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Because we have recently discovered that Savian's aura colors are blue and purple.
yeah, you just told me that.
Unsee it.
You told
you
me
can't
that.
unsee it, right?
And I just
The
leaned
vibes.
into it.
Yeah.
I leaned into it super hard.
I like it because it's like cool, like almost vaporwavy a little bit, but like more low-key mellow. Just like your personality, bro.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, blue and purple
Yeah.
is my personality. I appreciate that. Those are my favorite colors. So
I know.
yeah. I also really like magenta, like super hot pink, but I don't know. That was like my YouTube logo forever, was like those three colors.
Oh, yes.
But I leaned into the blue and purple.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, when we were at the International Village, I don't know what year it was constructed.
Yeah, probably like late 80s. I'm pretty sure you're right.
I'm feeling like 89.
Yeah.
Because they have these weird neon lights. It feels like an old vaporwave mall, but it's like pastel-y colors, like the pastel-y teal and pink and orange.
And it's neon, which
And it's
is sick.
neon. it's such a trip going in there. Oh, maybe.
What?
We've been tripping in there. not we, but...
I haven't.
Okay.
Not in there.
Where do you see the Spider-Man movie?
At, Scotiabank.
Oh, okay. That's actually way less cool.
I might cut that out.
Okay. Yeah, so this mall is really, really aesthetic and cool.
Yeah, it is.
We love it.
And I don't know how it stays in business. For all of the viewers from Calgary, which I'm sure is a lot of people, it's like the exact same vibe as Eau Claire Market.
Yeah, but they're tearing that down.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that will happen to that place eventually. Because, I feel like that real estate is worth so much. It's, in downtown.
It's such a shame, though. I don't like it.
Yeah. I think, inevitably, it'll get turned into, a condo complex or something.
That's what's happening.
Yeah. I wonder if they can hear the music.
Could you guys hear the music?
It's good music. I'm enjoying this playlist.
Dude, ever since our buddy Cody, you posted some videos of him at his jazz show.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Cody, amazing bass player. But he's making the stank face. And then I was gonna comment stank face, and then somebody already commented stank face. Yeah.
That's
but
funny.
now I'm realizing, shit, I do stank face all the time. And it's, kind of, leaning into the irony of, oh, hot damn. But then, it's not ironic.
Well...
Just, you hear that, groovy beat on your... You can't even help it. I'm starting to do it already.
If the beat is stanky... yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. This music next door is...
We're just gonna groove out for the rest of the podcast. It's done.
Okay, should we talk about one of the topics that we actually planned? Mm-hmm. So the first thing, you were telling me about your social media addiction, and then I was like, save it for the podcast. So why don't you get more into that?
Flooded with these feelings of shame. So addicted to the grams.
I don't even really get that because I feel like it's not that engaging.
Dude, literally when I messaged you and you're like, I don't get it. Why are you addicted to Instagram?
Yeah.
Everything makes me want to
die.
I was gonna put that a different way.
Well, that's what I said.
It's true. And then but that's what addictions are. You're addicted to things that aren't good for you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I'm just going through my own self-reflection of self-promotion and how it's probably not good for your psyche, and then also just feeling the need to share everything about your life.
Yeah, which
especially
is
on the stories.
Why you wanted to make a podcast, right?
I do love chatting and I'm very extrovert, can you tell? I feel it's no surprise that I have I feel I have maybe 1,300 photos on my feed and a zillion highlights.
Your stories are crazy. You have the most robust Instagram stories out of anybody I know.
My highlights?
No, just your
I thought
daily.
You were gonna say you actually watch my highlights.
No. I watch. But
no, I don't care. I don't care about you as a friend that much to actually watch your Instagram. Okay.
I do look at all of your stories, so I guess all of that stuff ends up in the highlights, right? So
yeah, it's just oh god, it's just I don't know. Okay, we don't have to fully get into this, but I learned my Myers-Briggs type.
Okay.
I'm ENFP, which is the extroverted one, and then all of the feely intuition ones.
That's funny.
And the meme about ENFPs is that they're rainbows, unicorns, hey everybody. And then when I was learning about it, all these things are generalizations, so it doesn't mean that you're actually this or you're actually put in a box, but it was feels to need validated by the world for their authenticity, overshared, and I was looking in the mirror I'm such a tool. But yeah.
Yeah.
I feel when I find something that I think is cool or I think is funny, I'm just I have to share this, but it's you don't, sweetie. You really don't. But if people think I'm funny, I feel it's more okay to share funny content or memes. But like for sure in the girl culture, it's like flexing your fits and your style and your makeup. And then you get that short-term gratification by posting hot photos. But it's not good, I don't think. I mean, depends. Because, like, some people, like, maybe it's a body confidence thing and they're owning themselves. Or, like, maybe you're more from, like, a marginalized group. Or, like, you're trans and you're expressing your femme side for the first time and that's why you're owning it. Or, like, especially, I feel like in queer, like, clubbing culture, it's all about being gorgeous with your fits and, like... But how do you separate that from, like, anybody else doing it? It's like the same thing.
Wait, what do you mean separate it?
Like, why would it be more okay for certain groups to do it than just, like, basic girls? Basic girls can do it.
Do people think that? Do people think it's more cool to do that if you're queer?
I don't know. It's just, like, there's so many accounts that are, like, fashion accounts where it's, like, every single girl has the exact same face. Like, it's more like, maybe it's, like, are you celebrating diversity or you're pressuring everybody to look the same? I think it's fine if you're celebrating diversity, but, like, every girl wants to be slim thick. Everybody does their makeup to have the same features.
I do not like that.
I don't like it either.
Yeah.
So it's something that I'm navigating, and I feel like a lot of young girls navigate.
Yeah.
And that's the toxic side of Instagram for girls, for sure.
Definitely. I did see something about how, like, I guess Zoomers, like Gen Z, has way worse mental health because they're just on Instagram all the time.
Yeah, it's really bad for girls.
Yeah.
Like, teen girl depression is, like, skyrocketing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the, like, super popular accounts of models and stuff, it's, like, not like, they have so much work done, you know? It's, like,
I know.
It's not really natural beauty, so.
But the thing is, like, I've gone on Instagram breaks before where I delete the app on my phone and I'm not exposed to content like that, and, like, you do forget about it.
That's good.
And you feel better.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is toxic. I feel like if you're aware of it, then it's good. And you are aware of it, so I don't think it's that detrimental to you. You know?
Yeah. I just feel like if you talk about social media, that's the main thing.
Okay.
But, like, maybe your audience is mostly these guys.
I feel like my audience is, like, one, not very big at all, and two, it's like, for the 40 people that are going to watch this, it's, like, pretty diverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you not like about it?
I guess it's just not as fun as it used to be. Like, the memes aren't hitting like they used to. And I don't know if it's because I'm older or if everybody's just less funny or if it's, like, so saturated with all of this shit that, like, you just have to go through so much not interesting stuff to find something that you actually think is interesting, but I don't know. I just enjoyed the internet in general a lot more, like, 10 years ago, I'd say.
Yeah.
I think also it's, like, so much stuff is so corporatized and, like, monetized, and everybody's trying to, like, engagement farm. Like, they're making stuff because they think it's going to get a lot of clicks or views instead of just making it because they think it's funny, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yo, go back into Savestar's old YouTube videos from 10 years ago. I was creeping this with my roommate. We were watching her old videos.
Oh, you, like, went in the catalog?
Oh, yeah. And, like, yeah, I agree. Those were the good days of the internet.
Yeah, exactly,
but,
right?
I was recently watching a video on Kurzgesagt. Do you know that YouTube channel?
I do, yes.
And they were talking about the internet and just how it increases polarization, and then there's, like, information overload and, like, so easy to get angry. And then their recommendation, which I didn't know how to feel about it, they said we need to return to an era of smaller internet communities, like the internet 10 years ago, where you go to the blog or you go to the website and then you have your own community. But I feel like that's just unrealistic because, like, you can't undo Facebook and Twitter, Instagram.
Well, like, my favorite social media, and it has been forever, is YouTube. And I feel like that is, like, a huge website, but it has those, like, different pockets in it as well. So I feel like...
I think YouTube is better for that.
Yeah.
But, like, does Instagram have that?
No,
really.
And that's why I don't like Instagram that much. And, like, I completely stopped using Facebook because I feel like that's the worst, where it'll just push you, like, the most stupid bullshit that you don't want to see. No, I swear.
Stop using Facebook because they started sending me emails from when random people would comment on random posts. Like, I comment something super trolly, like, I commented on one of my favorite artists. Like, I commented in French. I guess people wouldn't be able to read it, but I said something about, like, actually, it's embarrassing. I don't. But, like, I don't want that to end up in someone's email. Like, what if, it's just like, I had my notifications off, but I feel like Facebook knows that they're getting less engagement, so now they're trying to get you through emails, and I'm like, I don't want freaking, like, boy from my junior high that I never liked to get an email from me being a tool on somebody's post. Like, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Well, I actually don't really care what they think about me, but, like, maybe I'm worried about my grandma. Like, I mostly have Facebook for my relatives.
Like, I use Messenger, Facebook Messenger.
I wish that Instagram had a Messenger, but they won't do it.
Well, it is technically because Facebook owns Instagram.
But there's a whole bunch of people that have Instagram that don't have Facebook.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, if they had a separate app, they won't do that.
Oh, I see what you mean.
They won't do that.
Yeah, I mean, DMing people on Instagram isn't that bad. But you were saying that's how you get
sucked in.
Yeah, like, that's the thing I don't get.
And also, when you search for someone, you have to see your suggested page, and that's when I get sucked into the cat content, the memes.
Yeah.
It's not good. But for me, as an artist and someone who does want to express my creative side, and it is my highest following, because I would say I have a following. No, I don't. It's just all friends that I have, but
you have a ton of friends, though. You have the most friends out of anybody I know.
Oh, stop.
I'm gonna check if it's still recording. Keep talking.
Anyways, is it working?
Yeah.
Oh, wait till you sit down. Oops, I just touched your butt. Literally, this is when you know it's late stage capitalism. Yesterday, I opened my Instagram, and I got this ad that was like, you're spending all your time on Instagram. On average, people spend 5 hours a day on their phone. Get off Instagram.
That was
buy
the
our
ad?
app.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've actually seen those.
I'm like, it is so, like, if you see ads
for
getting off the platform on the platform, that's when you know that shite is far gone. Like, that's so late stage capitalism.
It is.
I just couldn't get over it.
It's so
like
fun. And
you already feel so guilty being on the app, and then you get an ad, so it's not somebody that you followed, and you have to watch it, and it's actively making you feel guilty for being on the app.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Like, when I saw that ad, I was just like, fuck you, you're still just trying to sell me something. Like, you don't actually care about me. You just want to make money off of me.
I couldn't get over it.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
That shit pisses me off. That's the stuff that makes me just want to not even use the app, is seeing ads like that.
I know. Well, yeah. Oh my goodness. They're gonna hear that. Let's party. Let's party. Sorry. No, it's really interesting. Let's actually seriously talk about late stage capitalism.
Okay, yeah.
There is so much relentless desire, or not desire, just like the profit motive.
Mm-hmm.
It's so relentless, especially with access to like your information and like all of your accounts on Google and everything, and like tracking your interests and cookies. Like, they need to be so good at marketing to get as much customers that they want, that they know every single tiny little thing about you. I mean, people know about this, but like, I view capitalism as like accelerationism. because it's infinite growth. So like every year the economy grows more than last year, right?
Yeah.
So it makes sense that as it gains more and more momentum and like AI advances, that the means to get there are going to become more and more like severe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I feel like it's, I don't know if it's like tending in a direction of dystopia, but like it for sure feels like it.
We're there. I don't like it. I've been feeling like we're in a dystopia. Like the ads you see, like that ad is a dystopia ad. That's like an ad you would see in a sci-fi movie making fun of how shitty that society is, but we're living it.
Yeah, and like I guess the natural problem is that these advancements are faster than policy. Yeah. So you can't contain it, and that's something that I also wanted to talk about is like if you have these like meta economic incentive systems that the companies are like under and within, they don't really have even choices but to do that, because like sometimes people assume that the CEOs of these companies, sure, they could be more responsible in making better decisions to actually care about the well-being of their customers instead of like literally making every girl hate themselves, or like that's just one example. But like even if you had a leader that did that, like maybe they just get fired and then they put somebody else in the position, or the company is already in a state where they have shareholders and they have to grow, and they're legally abided to shareholders. I know they're legally abided shareholders in the States. Apparently in Canada they aren't. But it's a systems problem. Yeah. Because the system is putting the actors in a position where, game theoretically, if they do the ethical thing, they lose compared to their competitors. Yeah. So they have to do it no matter what. And I feel like I feel like most business leaders, like they know that they shouldn't be cutting down the entire rainforest. Yeah. Or like extracting more oil. Or like, I don't know.
When I quit my job, I actually shouldn't say this. Let's just say my boss was like super candid with me, like the CEO of the company. It wasn't like a big enough company that I didn't know him, so like he sat down and talked with me.
I actually haven't heard this.
Well, I'll tell you later like what he actually said, because I don't want to say exactly what he said, because like I like him enough to not put him on blast like that, but he basically was like, we know we're doing some stuff that the employees don't like, but we've just got to do it. And he was like, I'm surprised you lasted this long at this company, because like he expected me to quit way longer, because like you know you're being exploited when you're in a position like that. Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing, like the CEOs know what they're doing, but it's just the game, like
well, they are puppets to the game.
Exactly. Too. Yeah.
But okay, this is what I thought a lot about being in school. I studied sustainability and business. Okay, so if we have this broader economic systems level problem that's meta, like nobody actually controls economics, but just like supply and demand, it's like all, I don't know, I like think of it as like this blanket over the world almost, and then everybody like makes decisions based on it. I don't know why I don't know why I think about it like that.
I get what you're saying. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like a collective consciousness thing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But it's not like nobody's actually controlling it.
Yes. Well, everybody is. Everybody is. Right?
I guess it's like, oh my gosh. I guess it's both ways. Tell me more.
Not one person is in control. Literally everybody has influence on it, because like you're buying power, and then the next person influences that.
Yes. But it seems like all these giant corporations, they're just like giant sunk costs.
Yes, definitely. Like
Coca-Cola, like they have so many people. I don't know how many investors are like how I need to learn more about finance. But what are they gonna do? Just like shut down, I mean, I guess they probably could. People will find other jobs who work in their corporation, like, you know?
Yeah.
But the thing is, if we have an economic level problem that, like you said, everybody kind of controls, but it's also, like, above us,
Mm-hmm.
if you actually want to change the rules to the game, how can you do that without, like, getting above that? But that would be, like, completely unfeasible and undesirable, because it'd have to be, like, totalitarian.
Yeah.
So, like, the beauty of capitalism and the global economic system is that we gain so many benefits, like all of our material goods, yet nobody does control it, which is good. So, if we know that we can't really change the rules of the game, and we probably shouldn't really want to, because getting there would be really problematic, probably. The only thing that you can advocate for is, I guess, like, consumer level change or governmental change in democracy, but also finding good leaders in the corporate world who are willing to be courageous and try to make change. Because, like, step out in the front in the public and admit to everybody, like, hey, our corporation is completely destroying the planet, and we are stuck in these systems of exploitative labor, and we know we aren't perfect, but we do want to change things. Because I don't know how you would do it without those leaders, corporate leaders.
I think we just need businesses that are ethical to do well, and then once people realize you can actually be profitable and not, like, horrible. The problem is what you were talking about with, like, there needs to be growth constantly. Mm-hmm. If people could just, like, be satisfied with, like, okay, we're at a good level, we can pay our employees, and we can pay our shareholders, but we don't need to pay our shareholders, like, more and more every year. Like, they just get, like, a static amount, and, like, we can function, we make the company function at, like, a level where everybody's happy.
Yeah. Like slowing it down a little bit more homeostasis.
Yeah.
This is something that I would like to learn more about. Maybe our viewers know more about this. I'm curious about how much day traders lock in corporations to super relentless growth. Like, I feel like... Is this still working?
It stopped, but I put it back on.
Do you know when it stopped?
It doesn't matter. I'll sync it later.
Okay. Because I feel like I don't know how much day traders screw over companies for always trying to make profit. I feel like maybe that's different because it's more like symbolic value and speculation. Do you know about that? Because the thing is like all these companies, I know for sure it's a problem where they're trying to grow every quarter, and that puts them into short-term thinking and short-term profit incentive instead of thinking long-term.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. If we're completely locked into this short-term mindset, it's actually going to nip you in the butt, because if you aren't sustainable long-term, you won't be able to produce the short-term goods anymore because it's going to collapse.
Well, yeah, that's the thing that's so crazy that nobody seems to get, is like, well, I guess they don't really care about especially at the top when you're like making millions and millions of dollars. It's like, oh yeah, maybe in a couple years, like, the entire company is going to crumble and everybody's going to be out of a job. But it doesn't matter because I got my bag. So, screw everybody else that's under me.
Yeah, I feel like there is for sure, like, personal corporate greed. That's obviously a problem. And if you did decide you could redistribute the wealth, I obviously believe in that, as well as with, like, the government and taxes. But, I don't know, I just feel like in the 2020s, overall the current system is not quite at the point where the externalities are completely catching up to us. Mm-hmm. We for sure undeniably are seeing more consequences of climate change, and then also there is increased recognition of burnout culture, and like it's fair that people want to work more from home, and like
well, people just need to get paid more. It's like
yes.
They expect so much for so little compensation, because again they're just trying to like juice the profit super hard. I mean, that is going back even to what my boss was telling me about. Like, he basically said, yeah, we need you to do as much work as possible for as little money as possible, and we want like a high turnaround rate so we can get in juniors that we don't have to pay as much to do the same work.
Yeah, it's not good. But the thing is, and this is what I feel like conservatives would say, is like, okay, well, if these companies aren't growing, then they aren't going to have the cash flow to pay people at all. Mm-hmm. Which I guess is like, whatever, trickle down, whatever.
Trickle down.
Trickle down. Trickle down economics is the highest pinnacle of man's creation. But it does make sense that, like, exchanging value either through services or goods, that's the very basic foundation of the economy. And, like, for sure we're going to still need that. But I don't know how you would slow down the train. So these are the questions that we ponder. These are the things we don't understand and why we have existential angst and anxiety.
Yes.
But I feel like, you know, people talk about these things naturally. Mm-hmm. But you aren't going to see it on mainstream media completely dissecting capitalism. Well, that's why you go to the depths of YouTube.
Exactly. But yeah, that's the other problem, is that the media is corporations. So they don't want to dismantle the corporate structure.
I know, like, where's it going to come from? The people.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
People.
Exactly. That's why I
the
was
youth.
super
the rebels.
To like Twitch politics for a bit, but
yeah.
Even that got exhausting, especially recently. You know.
Yeah. I feel like so many people, they're lost in the sauce. What do you think about tuning out?
I think it's good when you realize the stuff that you're consuming is negatively affecting the way you interact outside of those spaces. Like,
oh yeah,
I noticed I was like bringing up political stuff all the time, just talking to people, which was like very out of character for me, I feel like, because I was like super apolitical until super recently, and I think that's like a reason that people like being around me, is because I didn't talk about super challenging topics, and then I started doing that, and I don't think people enjoyed that.
I was like that, like when I couldn't shut up about this stuff in my undergrad. Like sometimes you're so emotional, you can't be like, it's hard to articulate an appropriate tone that's inviting. Mm-hmm. And I always will believe, like, the oppressed folks of the situation should never be told to contain their emotions when expressing these things, and if you're triggered by that, then, like, that's probably reflective of something to do with you. Mm-hmm. Because we also wanted to talk about this, like, polarization and, like, anti-woke culture. Okay, tell me thoughts.
Well, this was your topic, but my opinion on it, I don't know, it's like the pendulum swing of, like, the past, I guess since 2016 or, like, 2014.
Yeah,
like remember how people were shitting on SJWs all the time? This is just, like, the other side of that, I feel like. And they just say it's like a pendulum, right? So it happens, like, yeah, people got some social awareness, and now because people are allowed to, like, paint their nails and not get called gay, it's like, oh, it's the end of society, you know? Society is crumbling because men are allowed to share their feelings now. You know? It's stupid. It's all so stupid. Like, any of that stuff is just completely pointless. And it's just people getting mad because they have nothing actually to get mad about. These people that, like, get mad about being woke, it's like they're so unaware of actual issues happening that it's like that's what they decide to put all of their energy into, is like being mad about people being allowed to be gay. Like,
yeah, I mean, I kind of just mentioned this. I think if you're angry because of oppression, that obviously makes sense. That's how I feel all the time too.
Yeah.
And if people don't like your delivery, it's not your problem. However, I don't know. I guess my question is, do you think people should change their delivery if it helps in transformation of the other side? Because it shouldn't really... That seems like an extra burden to, like, control your emotions and be so nice. But I don't know.
I don't think you can say these things in a way that's going to get through to the people that are offended by it. Like, offended by you talking about being oppressed. It's like, no matter how you put it, they're always gonna be like, oh, you're whining, you're...
Yeah, but you could, like, direct it to them, because, like, have you heard that thing where it's, like, people of different tribes at the end of the day, like, want the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Of, like, if you ask the 5 whys of, like, why you really care about it, maybe it's, like, goes all the way back to just, like, wanting a good life for you and your family, or, like, even, but to get there, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some people might do it more like a trad. It is kind of messed up way, but at the end of the day, it's because they want the best for the kids or something.
Yeah.
And then if you try to, like, at least connect on that, then you realize that you are more similar. But, like, you ought to try to do that if you want to actually create change. Because I feel like it kind of makes sense that, like, if you can find common ground, then there is higher of a chance for transforming someone out of their problematic views. And, like, maybe they're so stuck up in themselves, they're blatant that they don't want to, but you know for sure if you're going to be defensive, then they won't. So should you at least try to, like, meet them there, or, like, you don't even have that responsibility?
I personally am not interested in trying to, like, dumb down super basic arguments. It's like the stuff that
I know.
present...
It's not like you could be, like, blatantly transphobic. It doesn't mean that it comes from somewhere that's good. That's not what I was trying to say, by the way. I know that's exactly what Sabian is thinking. I meant that more like economic policy stuff.
Even that, it's like...
I know. Oh my god, what am I saying? I know! Oh my god!
You can lay things out in just, like, 100% analytical, like, these are just the facts of the situation, and then they'll be like, well, where did you get that information? And then it'll be, like, a super reputable source, and they'll be like, well, they're funded by whoever, and they're the deep state.
But honestly, though, I feel like this is not, like... Okay, do you think that a rational argument could ever get them out of their thinking?
No.
So then, how would you do it?
Guillotines?
Shit, bro. I don't endorse that.
I'm not saying we should...
I don't endorse that.
No, you just have to live with them. Live and let live.
Yeah, but dude, like, I actually am really convinced, like... I feel like as the consequences of the runaway train of capitalism catch up to us, before we even see, like, environmental consequences, like the paper factory actually runs out of trees, there's gonna first be way more social tensions, and I actually think what we've seen in the past few years, like, is only the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So like... If it's reasonable to assume that it's only going to get worse,
mm-hmm.
is fully, like, deciding to be like, these people are stupid, I just, like, frick you. Like...
Well, You go ahead and try and present your dumbed down arguments to them, and you let me know how that goes.
I don't think it's dumbed down.
Well, okay, you're like more
I would
holistic
say,
approach.
I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. Like, perhaps people's problematic views do come from an insecurity or trauma that they don't want to talk about because that's so embarrassing or something. Like, also, this is something that I think about. People who are like criminals or they're far right problematic, sure, a lot of it is up to like personal will and choice to end up like that, but there's so many factors and just circumstances in your life that are out of your control. Like who your family is, who you grew up on, how you absorb those views. Like, if you did grow up in a fully alt-right-wing family.
Yes.
Your entire life.
Yes.
And you end up like that. How much are you to be blamed for having those views?
I think you can probably convince that person to not be like that. If it's just like 100% a result of your environment and you've never even been exposed to the other side, then yes, you can probably just explain it in a normal way. I don't think you even need to like try to appeal to them. If you just like show them that there's more to life than this one way of thinking, they'll probably be like, oh shit, I never thought about it that way. But there are a lot of people that have seen everything and they've chosen to be super right-wing about it, and those people, I don't think you're going to like convert them ever. And that's fine, because everybody's entitled to their opinion.
That's true.
Yeah.
I do feel like there is this tension where you feel like it should be very intuitive just by having a heart to like not be like that. You know what I mean? So then when people are like so messed up, you're just like, or what's that meme of that monkey that's like, why? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I know. Actually, this has come up. I feel like this is probably more of a this has probably ended up for me because of my privilege, but I feel like in my personality, I'm an idealist and dreamer.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I have conversations like this with my friends where they're more like a realist, rationalist, and accepting that people are fucked up and like, you know.
Yeah. People are fucked up. There's a lot of fucked up people.
Yeah.
And I think overall, like, if we're going for systems change, like you're talking about, I think that is possible. I think that once the people in power kind of age out, and there's more people, like, from our generation that are making decisions, there will be meaningful change. But
I actually really agree with that.
Because,
like, there's not that many young people.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Aren't progressive.
Especially in American Senate, like, that is very, very
I actually
old
really
ass
agree
people.
with that. Actually, I've had, like, a fantasy with that where it's like, okay, we learn from all of the mistakes of the older generations, like, oh, yeah, like, endlessly chasing money isn't necessarily the meaning of life, helps to a certain extent, but like other than that doesn't actually make us feel better. So like, how do we create these companies where yes, we make good products, but also we create good working conditions and experiences, and the purpose of the economy is not just to produce products but to create meaningful work.
Yeah, just like livelihood for everybody. It's like it's 100% consumer focused, but the people that are making those products are miserable. And like, I'm not even talking about us, I'm talking about like some kid in Bangladesh that
the fast fashion thing is so stupid.
Yeah.
But I feel like this fantasy of like millennials and Gen Zs and the future of the economy and like our role in leadership in the future of the economy, there is like a collective vision part of it and like collective solidarity and collective purpose, which really appeals to me at my dreamer side of like everybody coming together with a unified goal of increasing purpose through restoration of the planet, care through labor, like completely reversing exploitation and finding meaning and helping others. Obviously not in like a neo-colonial like way, but like obviously it would be in manifestation of the oppressed dream, and that's what dictates how it goes. Because otherwise, what's the point? That's the whole point. That's literally the whole point. But if the only way to achieve that on a global level is a unified dream, is that problematic if it's universal? Because I feel like people say a lot like having the diversity of political thought is really essential to democracy and like a healthy planet.
I think it really is. The problem is that there isn't really diversity in democracy right now. It's like at least in Canada and America,
well,
which
it's
is
still all under capitalism.
Our perspective, it's like you can either be conservative or slightly less conservative. Those are your options. So
that's a really good point.
Like in these European countries, they have an actual cabinet that's like a bunch of different parties, and like they have relatively equal representation between all those parties, and those people have a way better like happiness index overall.
Yeah. Or for example, like you couldn't theoretically you couldn't put like a dreamer person like me that's like, let's take care of everyone and like restore the soil. Like you actually need business people who have the really strong logic of the internal of the system and then collaborate with them.
Exactly.
Which is like, so that actually, if we did want to figure out how to make a sustainable planet, the people who we would need the most are the conservatives.
Yeah.
But with the intention of the sustainability goal.
Well, that's exactly it, right? It's like if you're just 100% conservative, then all you care about is numbers, right? At the end of the day, which is not good for humanity.
Yeah. So
you do need the diversity. Exactly.
Yeah. But is it diversity for a common goal, sustainability of the planet? Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
What? Like...
Because I feel like you need diverse perspectives to fully understand the breadth and the scope of the problem. Like, okay, if we just take climate change.
Yeah.
It is objectively a problem for every person on the planet.
Yes.
Definitely more so for others.
Yes.
But I feel like it's hard for me to understand how we would successfully tackle this issue without a global collective vision. Because I'm personally skeptical. Well, this is the question, because perhaps it is indeed the beauty of the free market that maybe oil and gas will kind of become out of fashion, and then renewables will naturally take over as demand increases, or if oil and gas tanks like super rise and becomes cheaper, then actually nobody even has to control it. It'll just happen, and it's like a meta unfolding, which is like probably the best scenario. But because there's so much infrastructure and like sunk costs in fossil fuels, is assuming that will happen, which is what I feel like most people are hoping on, because that is the best case scenario, because then there is no totalitarian forcing it.
Yeah.
But is that unrealistic?
Well,
because of all of the sunk cost infrastructure.
If you're talking just about climate change and fossil fuels, it goes back to what I was saying about once people like us actually have power over the decision making, it'll just naturally happen, because the only reason that oil and gas is even still like a main energy source is because it's super duper subsidized and like lobbied, like,
which is ridiculous, but
yeah, they're like funneling so much money just to keep that industry alive, because naturally everything wants to go to renewable energy anyways.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess the question is like, how much should we have faith assuming innovation will happen to help us?
I have faith. I don't think, like, it's literally not sustainable. So either everybody dies or they fix the problem. And I think it's in everybody's interest to not let everybody die.
I think that feasibly, in terms of like actual energy demands, like, I don't know, billions of kilowatt hours per whatever,
Yeah.
it could be feasible, but I question the collective psyche part of it, of how certain groups of people could be on board of this when they would much rather the mainstream system. Like, I feel like what I was mentioning before, the social tensions are going to be the problem way before actual environmental problems.
Well, yeah, that's already the problem. But
yeah, I don't know.
I think,
oh, we already said the young generation.
yes.
Actually, it's going to be directly us.
Not me. I would do.
I'm going to be the dictator of the world.
I would be
with my little pipe that's empty. Mwah!
Yeah, if we're talking dictatorship, I think I could do that, but
dictator.
I definitely could not be like a politician. I'm like way too.
Wait, so let's talk about Sabian as a dictator.
Oh.
What would you make everybody? What's your propaganda? Everybody must watch Scott Pilgrim.
Yes, yeah.
Everybody.
Mega 64.
Yes.
That's the
yes.
Bible.
Everybody must wear Hello Kitty PJs.
Yes. Okay. Ramen every day.
Ramen, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yes.
And
what else? Everybody gets a cat.
Yeah. Everybody must watch 12 hours of cat reels nonstop every day.
Yes. Instead of like ads and billboards, it's just like cat memes. This is my utopian
show
society.
On every Netflix is only cat movies.
Yes.
And if you're furry, you'll get extra monthly payments. And then suddenly everybody's incentivized to become a furry. And then everybody on the entire planet becomes a furry. And then Sabian loves it. No, I'm just kidding. Sabian, we don't need to get into that.
I'm not a furry, but I have no issues with furries. And I support cat girls, specifically. Just kidding.
Well, you know what? Should we tell them my kink?
Oh, wait. Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier
Did we?
today. Yeah, it's very serious. It's a joke.
Go. What is it?
Twink kink.
Oh, right! Yes, the twink kink.
Because
okay.
I found this, like, meme of Merry and Pippin from Lord of the Rings. And then he has the hat from Mary Poppins, and then it says Mary Pippins. And I love it. Should we show the screen? It's Mary Pippins.
Twink kink.
Twink kink. Oh, wait. We love him, but then it's actually like Mary and Pippin. So good, right?
So good.
Yeah. I actually haven't gotten super far into the twink memes and lore. From what I understand, either it's gay effeminate men or straight, or I guess any gender expression that is not traditional mask, I guess.
I think you just know what a twink is. You
I
either know or you don't. Like,
because I just like, I do like girly guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Twink.
Like this movie that
yeah. Go ahead.
This movie that we just watched, the main actor.
Is he a twink? I feel like he's too...
No.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. He's a simp.
A simp.
But an evil simp.
Yes. He's an incel.
Sorry. Just the way he said that.
What?
He actually is... Oh, dude, that shit got so real. An incel who, like, gets violent? Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
But that is what he was.
That's straight up.
No, but the guy he's in love with, the hot
guy. Oh,
yeah.
I'm
not into it.
Oh, just that classic...
You can include video. You can include
Oh,
pictures.
I'm gonna do, like, so many clips and stuff through this whole thing.
Okay, cool.
But, like, yeah, that guy...
I'm not into it.
I feel like he's too basic for you. Like...
Well, he did have an ear piercing, which is very good.
Okay. Oh, yeah, and, like, the eyebrow stud
but
thing.
Just, like, I don't know. I mean, first off, everybody is entitled to their own taste. Doesn't matter.
For
whatever.
sure.
Yeah, so for sure, whatever.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yes. Personally, though, just like this total stud guy.
Yeah.
And then they show his body and his abs. I'm like, cool. You're probably, like, manipulate women.
Well, yeah, like, he's...
Not necessarily. Not saying if you've got a 10 to 10 bottom, not saying you're a bad person.
Well, but I feel like you kind of have that preconceived notion that, like, conventionally attractive people are going to have a not as good personality as somebody who's, like, more nerdy, because, like, you know, those people are more embracing their personality than their aesthetics, you know?
Or you mean their aesthetics instead of their personality?
That's what I said. I said they're more embracing their personality instead of their aesthetics. Right? Yes.
Well, do you mean like they're more embracing their aesthetics?
Okay, those...
Instead of their personality.
Those people are the people that you wouldn't like, yes.
Oh, but the other people.
Yes.
Like... us.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah,
I feel like...
Oh, we also want to talk about dating apps.
Oh, yeah, true.
This is a perfect segue.
Yes. Okay. But yeah, just to that point, I feel like... Yeah, I have the same thing where if I see a girl who's, like, super hot, I'm like, there's no way we're gonna get along, because...
Well, Kate, you don't know, like...
Yeah, no, but, like, that's just my baseline assumption. Like, of course, I'm willing to talk to them. It's not like...
Yeah, well, I don't think it's necessarily that people who are conventionally attractive have bad personalities.
Mm-hmm. I don't think... I think I'm just less likely to get along with them personally.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think of it like that.
Yeah.
I think of it as, like this guy in the movie, he's probably so lucky all the time that maybe his standards are really high, and then the main guy, he was never gonna get it. That's why he's vindictive.
Okay, yeah.
So it doesn't... I actually like I thought his personality in the movie was pretty nice.
Yeah,
he was a nice guy, but
sure.
It's just like... main guy. But, yeah, maybe we should bring up the dating apps more.
Okay, sure.
Okay, go.
Okay, dating apps are terrible. I completely stopped using them because...
Yeah, me too.
They were just making me sad. Yeah. That's basically it. I mean, I used them for years, and I got, like, a few dates, and none of them ended that well. I had, like, one good relationship, but other than that, it was just, like, pain and suffering, and, like, so many, like... They're engaged in the conversation, and then you ask them out on a date, and then they ghost you. That was, like, my most common experience. It's like, you have a really good conversation, you ask them out, and then they stop talking to you.
On the app, or you go on a date in person, and then they ghost you?
No, like, they just stop responding when I actually ask them, like, oh, so do you want to go for coffee, or whatever? Like, then they just don't respond.
Yeah. So. There's for sure different dynamics.
Yeah,
girls and guys.
I'm sure you had a completely different experience than I did.
Well, I would always be the one to ask for the date.
That's interesting.
On the apps, have never been asked on a date.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, but I don't like texting for more than like 2 days. I'd rather just meet the person. Like, I'm pretty outgoing.
Yeah.
And like, I know that there's creeps out there, but like, I feel like based on people's profiles, I do trust the vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing like bad ever happened, but for me it was just a lot of the fizzle, which apparently sounds like it happens both in the messages and then even when you go on 2 dates with someone and then you're both like But I think the main problem, and we have talked about this, is just how you always think your ideal person is out there, so everybody's more transactional, and then you're just always looking for Mr. Perfect, whatever, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But then they never show up.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
you're so lost in your fantasy, and like, trust me, I've had problems with this. And it's not good. But I know lots of people who are in long-term relationships.
Yeah, like it
And
can work.
Can be good.
If you find somebody quick
scope.
enough, it's good. I think there's like a breaking point of using the apps where you're just like super jaded, and then you do start just like looking for a really specific person because it's like sunk cost. You've spent so much time on the app, it's like you don't want to settle since you've put so much effort into trying to find somebody, and then it just like once you get to that point, it's just like give up on the apps. There's people in real life, and they'll probably...
I feel actually a lot more mentally healthy since I
same, like way better. That I think that was like the most depressed I've been, is like trying to get dating updates.
I know. Do you know what's the funniest thing though? When it's like you're angry, but there's nobody to be angry about. Like if somebody ghosts you, you can be angry, but you're just like sitting there like, I want it so bad and I'm single, frick everyone. It's like, wait, like you aren't entitled to anything. Like, oh my gosh, dudes who feel like they're entitled to it.
I wasn't angry.
That really irks me. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean that about you.
Yeah.
But just like in general, like you are not. Like, I do think that's behind the incel thing. Like, guys who feel like
that's
you aren't.
That is the freaking incel thing. Is that they're like, they think they're entitled.
Really irks me.
Well, yeah, that's why those guys are
actually,
incels.
This will be really funny. I was listening to this jazz radio today.
Oh, nice.
And then I brought up some songs from the 50s, and the lyrics, I was just like standing, like waiting for the bus, like nice sort of like jazz, and then I listened to the lyrics, and I was like, this is so messed up, so I screenshotted it. The song is called Wives and Lovers by Jack Jones. Let me bless your ears with these very progressive lyrics. Ready? Wives and lovers, Jack Jones. Hey, little girl, comb your hair, fix your makeup. Soon he will open the door. Don't think because there's a ring on your finger you needn't try anymore. For wives should always be lovers too. Run to his arms the moment he comes home to you. I'm warning you day after day. The girls are at the office. And men will always be men.
Huh?
He's saying, like, you better sleep with me tonight, you little wife bitch, because I'm going to cheat on you at the office.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that so messed up?
Yep. But, wait, when is that from?
50s. And it was unironic.
Oh, that's just the 50s. 50s are, like, peak misogyny, you know?
Dude, I don't even know if I want to become like an angry feminist on this right now. I could unleash so much.
Well, we are talking about the dating app experience, so if it relates back to that.
I don't know. I just don't know how much I want to get into the details behind these things. I'll try not to reveal too much. It's not always great for women doing it, depending on how you prepare. So if you're married and you don't want to do it, but your husband is making you, or just any situation where you don't want to, someone's making, like, oh my gosh, I can't. It's so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just violence. Like, all violence sucks. But it's just, like, I feel like women, or, like, people don't really talk about female sexuality, which I think is a big side of it sometimes, of, like, not enjoying it, depending on it, but then you feel weird to tell your partner, or maybe you just feel pressured because you just want them to finish it, but you don't say anything. But I actually think it's extremely common.
That's really sad.
I know.
This is why I just gave up completely.
Wait, what does that have to do with, like...
Well, because I feel like women just have such bad experiences. It's like, I don't even want to, like, try to date because they just hate men already. It's, like, over.
No, I think it's just that I think women, their standards are really increasing, and they don't want to have to explain so much shit. So if you're a guy who already quote-unquote gets it, then that is actually, like, such a green flag. Like, guys who get it, who are, like, so down to, like, also give you hella emotional labor.
Yeah.
And be there and know how to support you and, like, do things without you asking for it. Or if you're married and he just, like, helps out in the house or, like, whatever, you know?
I think my thing is, like, the baseline assumption is that every dude does not get it. And, like,
no, that's not true.
You have to, like, try... For me,
I
feel like I have to try so hard because you actually know me. But, like, if I'm in a dating,
like in the dating
context, it's like I have to try so hard to be like, no, I actually do get it. Like, I'm a feminist. Like, I'm not saying that, but, like, I'm trying to hint at it.
That's why it's better to meet your potential partners through friends, so your friends a little bit first.
Exactly.
I don't know what prompt in your profile you could even put to convey that.
No, that's why I gave up, because it's like you either look like you're overcompensating or
which is really bad.
You like don't say enough, and then they're
so
just
many
like
games. I don't like it.
Because I feel like on the surface I come off as an incel because I'm like a gamer that's into anime and like
that literally never would have ever occurred to me.
To you. But
to me.
I'm me, you know, I know what my experience is.
You're like, wait, am I actually?
No, I know I'm not, but I know that I come off as one.
Saying. Yeah.
Because I have had the experience.
Yeah, but you don't give off vibes as being that cringe. You definitely don't.
Thank you.
But I still would like to validate the pain that it must feel, because that's society's problem and not yours. That they would project that image.
Yes.
Yes.
That's basically it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my problem.
And it's also women's fault.
Well, I didn't say that.
I'm saying it. But honestly though, I swear to God, like the emotional side of guys who get it, I'm sorry if it's like triggering that I'm referring to it as that, but that for sure is more green flag than literally anything else. Like income for me. Yeah. And I think for a lot of my friends, because we've dealt with so many guys that just fumble after fumble after fumble, and things end up splitting because they didn't feel like showing up emotionally. Because they don't know how. Yeah. In the worst case, they don't want to. But then you still feel entitled to the physical stuff. Okay. You know? And I'm not saying all guys are like that. No, dude. I'm sorry for laughing about this. I'm sorry, but I was reading some articles on Psychology Today about men's mental health, and like they didn't refer to it as the incel problem, but like lonely men, because it's hard for guys on the dating apps because the ratio 60-40, and then 10% of the guys get 90% of the matches.
Yes.
So it's really hard, and I know I'm preaching to the choir.
Yes. But I am not in the 10%.
which is really surprising.
Ha. I wish
but
the
it
camera
was
still
saying
working.
that like, okay, so what did these guys do? And this is not me giving you advice, because you're really solid, and that's why we're really good friends, right? So this is not directed to you, but there is this like male relationships therapist that wrote this article, and he was pretty much saying like women's standards are rising, and if men want to compete, they have to work on their skills deficits. Did I tell you about that?
No. No.
It was unironic. He actually put that. And like, I'm sorry for lolling, but like that's so funny. But he was saying like, okay, girls want guys who know how to emotionally show up, who like know how to emotionally support, take care, and guys who've gone to therapy, guys who understand their own emotions, you know, or like. Not implying that all guys suck at this at all, but the things that maybe sometimes girls do more with their girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, does that sound fair? I don't know, but what do you think about that? Does it trigger you?
No, that's.
Because when I told my roommate, he was like, "What?"
I learned this from Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh yeah?
Girls like dudes with skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel like girls like guys that they can trust.
Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like
guys like girls who they can trust.
This stuff is so obvious to me. It like blows my mind. The issue.
Know, that's why I'm saying you get it.
The issue with dudes is that they think that they have to act a certain way that they aren't even to get girls. It's like, oh, I need to...
Like mucho stuff?
Yeah. It's like toxic masculinity.
No, I'm telling ya. We need to reverse that psychology.
Yeah, well...
It's so ironic.
Unfortunately, we're in like the Andrew Tate era, where it's like even amplified that kind of attitude. Where it's like...
I feel like Andrew Tate, though, is reactionary to the... What's this called? Femboy? Or like...
Yeah, soft boy, femboy.
Yeah, soft boy. Pretty much to sum this up, I'm advocating for the soft boy.
Uh-huh.
But I also understand that's not everybody's personality. And then I watched some YouTube videos about this, and then it was a female YouTuber, but then she brought in a male speaker, which was cool. And... First off, he was saying you need to have male leaders who embody some of the traditional masculine traits that certain men look up to, because they want to be that sort of guy.
Yeah.
But then he also brings in this other stuff. Because they aren't going to listen to girls. Nobody's going to listen to me.
Yeah.
But then also I was listening to this other podcast about it. And he was saying that perhaps the soft boy isn't even fully desirable. Because the thing is like, it's not like masculinity in itself is problematic. It's just the toxic form.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so... But I do think that it's fair. Like, for example, if somebody says, okay, well, you think masculinity is toxic, well, let's talk about the sides where femininity is toxic.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fair conversation, sure.
Yeah.
But also there's this contextual awareness of like, okay, well, we live in the patriarchy.
Yes.
It's the same thing with like reverse racism.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you have to have contextual awareness of the directional flow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's another comparison I want to make, but I probably shouldn't.
You can cut it out if you want.
I think it's stupid to bring up that argument when there's obviously a side that has all of the power and is like obviously oppressing somebody like ruthlessly.
Yeah.
It's like,
I guess this goes back to our conversation of like, okay, well, how do you encourage the oppressor to look within to do the nice thing when they actively want to benefit out of the situation? But back to like the men-women dynamic sort of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like there actually is really strong incentive for guys to at least explore this because it'll help you get the ladies.
Yeah. Well,
and also you'll feel happier yourself.
You know what's funny is you were talking about we need like male leaders that are traditionally masculine but like get it also. And
I don't know how I feel about that, but that's what somebody else talked about.
Well, I like one of my favorite content creators is exactly that guy, and
nice.
He is very much hated by like every masculine guy. It's like only
they feel threatened, that's why.
Yeah, it's like only the super soft boy and like feminine people.
So he tried to be like that, but still he didn't
appeal to like the masculine
I feel
people.
like we're really picking up on themes here.
Yeah.
I don't know what you can do.
There's just some people.
It's just the polarization conversation.
Yeah, but I feel like people. I can't even.
You're getting salty!
I'm not salty. It's just like, I feel like I can't say the stuff that I want to without sounding like a douchebag.
Yeah, well, have I crossed lines?
I don't know. But it doesn't be, you said it already, so like, you're not as worried about it as I am.
You can just cut it out. It is going to be harder to string it together, but...
Yeah. I feel like people with our perspective are much more willing to compromise and listen to other people's perspectives.
Right. Like, it's not a balanced approach to the middle ground.
Exactly.
I know, that really bothers me too.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people on the left who are more morally and ethically conscious for sure just feel like, no, you're wrong. And then people say, like, okay, we need diverse political opinion, which
I agree with.
Which we do agree with. Or, like, okay, if it's in the genuine pursuit of the quote-unquote good, beautiful, and true, of actually creating a wonderful society, then yeah. It's just different pathways to get there. But, you know, like, if you're blatantly problematic, like, you're wrong. Like, I feel like if it's economic policy, like, if it's economic policy in terms of how do we have a stable economy so that everybody has jobs and everybody's prosperous, that's okay. But when I chatted to a friend about how I feel that way, and she's like, yeah, but that's not how it works, because there's implications to this policy, such as where funding goes and who has money. All I'm saying is really obvious. So, like, and especially you have a two-party system, you can't separate it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So this is really basic. I'm sorry. I'm embarrassing myself.
We were gonna end this on a good note.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling really personally uplifted by this idea of the young generation going in positions of power and becoming responsible leaders.
Yes.
I feel good about that. I personally feel inspired by extending an open hand to at least certain people that I feel like I can help them in a positive way for themselves, but also in turn for society, especially with maybe some of my guy friends. But I also think that it's important to protect your energy, protect your wholeness, protect yourself from triggering content online, from people who are more problematic.
Okay, I agree with everything you said.
Okay. What about you?
I think